Breaking news tonight, a new era of the Jets is about to begin. That's because they have a new head coach and a new GM. Let's start with the new head coach. Todd Bowles will reportedly be the next head coach of the Jets. Bowles had his second interview today and reportedly inked a 4-year deal with Woody Johnson and company. And as for their new GM, Mike Maccagnan, he is the former Houston Texans director of college scouting. He will be the third GM in the past 4 seasons for the Jets as he replaces John Idzik. Maccagnan will have many important decisions to make in the weeks to come, and he will also be in control of that 53-man roster. Joining me now to talk more on the Jets is our SNY Jets analyst, Mike Westhoff, and former Jets coach. Coach, a big night for the Jets. Everything is in place now. New GM, new head coach. Where do the Jets go from here now, Coach?
Okay, now the real work starts. Here we go. Very interesting. I'm not as familiar with the GM. I really don't know him very well. Todd Bowles, I certainly know who he is, and followed his career. You know, it's interesting. He got very hot as a defensive coordinator, and it'll be very interesting to me to see how he will transition from his defensive philosophy, which everybody knows was really kind of an all-out blitz, to come in and follow with what Rex did. That'll be interesting. He had a tremendous secondary, particularly at corner with Patterson and with Cromartie. That really aided the things that he did because he's kind of an all-out blitz guy. And now he comes to a Jets secondary that certainly does not have that. At the end of the year, the one thing that I was a little disappointed, because I know this was a red-hot guy, but at the end of the year, as a coach, looking at them playing and watching them as they moved toward the playoffs, people ran the ball very successfully against Arizona. Be honest with you, I didn't think he adjusted very well. Now, it'll be very interesting. Is this a flaw? Say the truth, I don't know. We're going to find out because he's going to have some adjustments to make. Now, who will his offensive coordinator be? Rex had a specific philosophy, and unfortunately, he didn't quite have the ammunition, and it really fell short at the end. But he did have it. I'll be very interested to hear what Todd Bowles' philosophy will be, how he plans on building his team. Who will his offensive coordinator be? What will he do from there? Now, I'm sure he learned a heck of a lot with Bruce Arians. A very, very good coach, did a great job in substituting for the Colts, and then went down to Arizona and really did a heck of a job there. They just, terrible quarterback problems and came up short. But to me, the whole thing that I want to hear and find out, what direction is he going to go? How does he picture moving this team forward? That's going to really be interesting and a big, big challenge.
Coach, obviously there are a lot of challenges ahead for Todd Bowles. He's a defensive guy, just like Rex. How much will it take for them to really get that offensive stamp? Like, what will it take for them to really go above and beyond and do that?
Well, just because of the fact that you coached a particular side of the ball as an assistant, becoming a head coach should lead you. If you're going to do the job correctly, you're going to even yourself out and make sure that you have everything covered. You can do that. I mean, Don Shula's background as an assistant was on defense. But when I was at the Miami Dolphins with Coach Shula, with Dan Marino, he was our offensive coordinator. He called the plays. So he obviously figured it out. That'll be the challenge as to how he can do it. I don't think there's any reason that he shouldn't be able to do it, but yet it's obvious one of the the real problems that the New York Jets have is that we're on offense at the quarterback. Is Geno going to be the guy? How do they see this handling it? What are they going to do with Percy Harvin? Are they going to keep him as a receiver? The offensive line, there's a couple guys that are starting to get a little old, but they've really been a solid group. So it's going to be very, very interesting. There's no reason why I'm sure that he painted a very, very solid, complete picture to Woody, or I don't believe that Woody Johnson would have hired him.
Coach, being that Bowles has 14 years of experience and Maccagnan has 21, how much does experience come into play in all this? And did Woody Johnson make sure that he would have a core that was really lifers and really wanted to do this?
Well, that's an interesting question. I think both guys from, and as I said, I'm not totally familiar with them as I need to be. I know more about Bowles than I do the GM. That's for sure. They both have good backgrounds. They've both been around the business, so I don't think there's any problem there. It'll be very interesting to see who they hire. You know, who are they going to hire as their coordinators? Who are they going to hire as their special teams coach? You know, are they going to keep the strength coaches? Who will they retain? Will they retain anyone? That would be very interesting to me. How will they approach the personnel department? I mean, it's very interesting to me sometimes how personnel department can get a hall pass. You know, you let the coaches go, but keep bringing the same guys that bought the groceries, and then the coaches have to make the meals. Excuse me, I want to talk about that one a little bit. So I think this would be very, very interesting. How will they approach that? How will they approach the personnel department? In my opinion, after the coordinators, when I hear the two coordinators, my first question is going to be, how are you going to handle the personnel department that's there right now? And what is your philosophy? What are you looking for? What's your vision of a team? You know, I'm really anxious to hear those things and would love to ask them those questions.
Coach, there are reports that Chan Gailey could be their next offensive coordinator. What can you tell us about what you know about him, and do you think that he would be a good fit?
Yeah, that's you know, I heard that there's also where else did I hear? I heard he was thinking of going somewhere else. That name came up to me. I know where it was. I'm not sure. His name did come up to me of being looked at another position. I think he'll do fine. You know, I was with him at Miami when he was there as an offensive coordinator. He has a very specific style of offense, a balanced attack. He does believe in that. So I think he has a system that's very balanced. To tell you the truth, I'm okay with it. I'm not knocked out. I'll just be dead honest. And I worked with him. Just didn't knock me out. That's my opinion. That's probably a little bit, maybe a little harsh in some ways. But I know that he knows offense very well. That is his strong point. I was never as enamored with him as I have been with other coaches I've been around. That's just my opinion.
Let's talk about the defense for a moment. There is talk that Mike Caldwell could be the right fit for the Jets. Well, what do you know about him and your thoughts on that?
I don't. I'm not familiar. I'm sorry. I just don't know that. I can't answer that. I don't have a good feel for that.
All right.
It's something I'm not sure of.
Okay, no worries. Thank you so much, Mike, for your time.
Okay, it's going to be interesting.
Okay,
one thing,
take care.
It'll be very interesting how he fits his defensive philosophy with what Rex did and the guys that are there. Very, very interesting to me to see how that'll work. But he did a heck of a job at Arizona, and I think he's a very qualified guy to get the job.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much again for joining us.
You're welcome.